What's going on, people? We are Tottenham TV. It's finished here. Monaco 0, Tottenham 0. And that was one of the stinkiest performances I've seen in a while, man. And seriously, like, we got absolutely outplayed today. They had multiple chances in the first half. Second half was just, it seemed like we were just waiting to die. That goal never came. And you got to thank the gods for Vicario today, because Vicario saved us. He made 8 saves today, and I just off the top of my head, like 4 of them were like top saves as well. Like, literally, he was our best player by far. And you know me, I'm a big believer in Thomas Frank. I'm a big believer that he's going to get it right eventually, and we're going to start seeing attacking football. But today was on him, man. Today was on him today, and the tactics that he deployed. Like, there were multiple times when Spurs got the ball in the middle of the park, and you could see there was a clear pass on forward, but sideways passes. And that's got to be instruction, because it's something that we're starting to see week in, week out, or something that we have seen week in, week out, just sideways passes through the midfield. And the only way that we look to attack is at the wide areas. And Odegaard did a good job of that in the first half. He was attacking the space, attacking his man. He was definitely the best player, or the best performance I've seen from him in a while, and our best player in terms from an offensive stage. And in the first half, but he was non-existent in the second. Kudus, again, he did well from wide areas, but we need to do more from the central areas. We've got the players to do it. Like, they've got it in them to pass forward at least, and to find their man, and we're just not doing it, man. And it's just becoming really hard to watch these Spurs games, and today was one of the hardest ones, because we were lucky. We were so lucky to get out of there with 0-0 today. Like, if that game finishes 3-0, no one's batting an eyelid. Like, seriously, like, that was daylight robbery, what we saw on the pitch today. And it's just like, it's just so hard to watch, and we're lucky. We've just got to count our lucky stars that Vicario was in goal today, and he saved us.
And Minamino didn't have a shooting.
Yeah, oh my God. Like, in the space of 5 minutes, right, he could have had a hat-trick.
It was incredible. And it's hard to watch the football. The football is really kind of boring. It's kind of, we do the same thing every time. We get the ball out wide to Kudus, or on this occasion to Odegaard. At least on this occasion, we were more of a threat on both wings. We weren't just relying on Kudus down the right-hand side to attack, but we kind of wait for them to progress the ball forward, wait for the overlaps on the fullback, try and get crosses in, try and basically span the box of crosses. They're playing with 3 centre-backs today, and we were getting very little joy. The only kind of joy we were getting was set pieces. We were looking, their keeper was looking a bit dodgy from set pieces. He came and fumbled a few of them, and we nearly scrambled a few over the line. But Monaco were cutting us open, and you can kind of forgive an away performance where you're looking a bit stodgy and you're not really attacking very well. If at least defensively you're looking solid and you're not giving away too many chances. But today we were so open. Monaco found it so easy to cut through us. It was a sight to behold. I don't think we've given away as many chances as we have today in other games. I know even Boda, we were very open as well, and we obviously conceded 2 goals in that game, and that was also a really poor performance. But today was even worse. We were literally just sliced through. There was no organisation. Monaco must be scratching their heads as how they didn't score the level of chances. They had 5 big chances on the day, 2.45 expected goals as well. Spurs having 0.87. So stats bear it out. We were just second best. I mean, in the first half, at least I think we had a semblance of control throughout a lot of that half, albeit even in that half. Monaco was still creating the better chances, and they had, Vicario had to make some really top saves. But I think in that half at least, we had a lot of possession, and we were looking decent going forward. Getting a lot of set piece situations, playing through the lines pretty comfortably. But it wasn't anything to shout about. But at least it was, I wasn't too disheartened. But second half was a shit show, absolute shit show. We were all over the place. And I'm struggling to think, of our if this is going to be our kind of way of attacking. Is this what Frank has up his sleeve? Is this what he's planning for us? I understand, and I think he's right. There's a lot of new attackers here. Moane, again, only had 25 minutes. He's barely played. Solanke's still injured. Javi hasn't even started that many games. He's came off the bench today. Odebear's only getting 3 starts in a row. He's still kind of getting to grips with being with the team. Kudus is obviously new. So you have to give it a bit of, give the manager a bit of grace. Like it's still, everyone has still got a gel. It's still very early on, but things don't seem to be getting better. That's the problem.
Yeah.
We're looking more stodgy when things are not improving. The plan does seem to be the same. The centre mids aren't given license to pass the ball forward, or are instructed, or don't want to pass forward. I don't know which one it is, but it seems though whoever plays there is playing the ball side to side. So I'm starting to think it's a bit of an instruction.
It's got to be instruction, right? Because no matter who you play there, it's the same thing. It's got to be instruction, surely. Like I can't for the life of me say that, each and every player just want to play those safe and backwards passes every single time.
Yeah, like it's one
because there's options as well to pass it forward.
Exactly. It's one thing if they're like playing it forward and it's a loose pass, and you can say, okay, that's obviously not instruction to play. You can say it's an individual error, but the fact they're playing it so safe, they're kind of minimising risk at every point, and it seems to be happening every game. Our only point of attack is to get it out wide, essentially, and try and get as many crosses in as possible, and it's too easy to deal with. We don't have enough avenues of attack. Bergvall today was shocking in the number 10 position. Didn't influence the game enough at all.
And talk about those 2 moments where he lost the ball in such dangerous areas in the first half. Nearly gave away 2 goals. 2 errors leading to a shot in the first half. And look, I love Bergvall. I think everyone loves Bergvall. You got to put it down to an off day from him today, but it was a really off day.
But it seemed as though that second half, it was like we were sitting back. We were soaking up pressure, but we weren't like no one was picking up their men. They were free in the box. How many times did Minamino have to be free in the box before someone picked him up? It was ridiculous.
And you're talking about the first half or second half? Second half, yeah. In the first half, how many times did Balogun go through on goal and break the lines of our defence as well?
Yeah, but I'm like, obviously he's like making a run off a defender. I can understand that. Like he's fast, he's strong. I'm talking about when they're getting cutbacks. And they're getting 3 men.
Just completely free.
Time after time. They're hitting it over. Vicario's making worldy saves. And still, no one is picking them up. No one is putting a challenge in. It's so infuriating. And when you're playing as we are going forward, and then you're not even defending well, you've got to question things, obviously. Yeah. Now, it's very early on. At the end of the day, we got a point, and we are still unbeaten in the Champions League. And, 2 away draws is not the worst thing in the world.
But it's 2 away draws that, first of all, these two teams have only picked up 2 points in the Champions League out of their first 3 games. And it's 2 draws where, we probably should have lost both those games, judging on the performances. Yeah,
we were the worst team both games.
Yeah.
We should have been, we're lucky to be sitting here. At least in the Boda game, we had a bit of quality about us to get back in the game. In this game, we showed nothing. We showed no ability. I mean, I guess we did have a half late rally in the last 5 minutes, nearly created something. But even then, Brennan had that chance. That was maybe the best we created the whole day.
Brennan, man, the game was literally there in the palm of his hands, and he fluffed his lines. Yeah, it would have been. But sometimes it just goes like that, doesn't it? You get battered all game, and just something falls for you in the last minute. You got to take your chance, and Brennan didn't do that. Javi Simmons, man, I'm starting to get a bit worried. I know he hasn't had too much game time, but you're looking for someone to come on and grab the game by the scruff of the neck for a player that's not playing well, and Lucas Bergvall. And Javi is supposed to be that player for us, that big money signing in the summer, 60 million, 65 million, however much it was. And he was supposed to be our star signing this summer alongside Mohamed Kudus. And I think apart from when he came on against Brighton in their last half an hour, he played really well. I haven't really seen a good performance from him, to be honest, in a Spurs shirt. And I think today might have been the worst of the lot. I thought he pretty much lost the ball, picking the wrong moments every time he got on the ball. There was one moment where he gets the ball on the edge of the box, just maybe shift and shoot, or shift and play the ball into the box. But he does some sort of back heel to Archie Gray, and the move breaks down. And I mean, I thought he was terrible. I thought he put in a bit of a disaster class when he came on today.
Yeah, I don't think he was good when he came on. What I would say is he had obviously had one moment, we had a 4-on-2, and he absolutely screwed it up. The problem, the reason I'm not going to criticise him too much, despite I agree he didn't have a good performance, is we had so little of the ball in that second half. It's like, so every time we did get it in the final third, it was like hyper focus on can we do something with it. And then Javi was the one a few times it fell to kind of create something. And at least he was getting on the ball a bit more than Bergvall.
But it felt like it broke down every time he got the ball.
Yeah. Yes and no. I think it broke down with everyone, is my point. And I think we're hyper-focusing on one or two moments in and around the box. And I guess at this level, I understand that because that's all it takes at this level, one or two moments. But we shouldn't be sitting here saying, oh, he lost the ball on the edge of the box on that one moment, so he had a stinker. Like, we should be in there 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 times in a half, not once. You know what I mean? So I kind of feel like if he had more opportunities to show what he's about, maybe he could have shown more. But the pressure on him to create something in those very few moments he got, obviously he wasn't up to it in those moments, and he didn't have a good game. I agree with you, but I think it's more the overall kind of how we were attacking during
Yeah,
the half.
no, I don't disagree. I don't
you could say everyone had a shocker in that second
Yeah, I
half.
don't disagree, but Javi is that big money signing, and he's brought in for big moments, and he just couldn't produce one. Even when he was moved over to the left, like he saw quite a bit of the ball over the left, and he couldn't even shift and play a ball into the box. I just felt like it just broke down, muscled off the ball, picking the wrong options. It's just a poor performance, and when you're talking about individual players, that's what you got to talk about.
They said he was poor.
And he had a very, very poor performance when he was on the left or when he was through the middle. And look, don't get me wrong, like I'm still a massive believer in Javi, and I still think he's going to come good. I believe in his talents. I think he's an unbelievable player with unbelievable talents, and he will come good eventually. But today, he put in an absolute disaster class. That's just the reality.
What do you think of Frank's subs? Bring on Spence when we need a goal.
Yeah, you know what though, like, at the time I was saying, why is he going for a draw? Why is he bringing on Spence? But after that change, that was probably our best moment in the game. So I just didn't. I don't know, man.
Did he bring him on? He brought Spence on. Yeah, I guess the last few minutes were.
He brought on Spence with 10 minutes to go, and then like, after those last 10 minutes, we actually were trying to do stuff. Like before that, we weren't trying to do anything.
I think really just in stoppage time, really, wasn't it?
Maybe it was just in stoppage time, the last 6 minutes or whatever. But it was in that moment when Spence was on the pitch, is what I'm trying to say. Like that, like I criticised the sub at the time, like being like, why are you just trying to go for a draw? Why not go for the win? You take off Kudus in the last 10 minutes when it's 0-0 and you could go grab a goal. I just didn't get that. But it's not the way like I view football. Like if it's 0-0, no matter how bad you're playing, you still go for the win, in my opinion. It's just very, very frustrating. I think the whole day, the whole game was just so frustrating, man. And I think it was just a terrible performance from Tottenham. It needs to get a lot better. Frank needs to start learning from his mistakes and start, giving his midfielders a bit of license to go forward and to create things from the middle of the park.
And look, you saw how Monaco moved the ball around and create chances. And you're thinking,
they were pinging it around us at times.
Don't get me wrong, they got good players. Akulish, good player. But did they really have that much, their players that much better than ours that we can't, at least play a bit of football like they were doing? It's like we're so kind of focused on doing these very set things. Like we're not giving our players a bit of license to create some magic, it seems, at the moment.
Yeah, and it feels like, you try walk it into the box to get these like high XG chances. Like sometimes you just need to take a shot from 25 yards, 30 yards, get a goal, get yourselves in front and then manage the game. But like we're just trying to get it to wide areas and just spam crosses into the box. That's it feels like that's what our game plan is.
Our last 5 performances have really all been played, apart from Leeds, which fair enough, we won a tough away game. Monaco, Villa, Boda, Wolves, really concerning.
Yeah, all really poor performances, and that leaves us in 15th place in the Champions League group phase after 3 games.
A point behind 8th.
A point behind 8th, and we got Copenhagen at home coming up next. We have to win that game. There's no. If we don't win that game, then we could be in trouble. But we got PSG away after that, so I think like top 8 might be a bit of a stretch for us, to be honest, looking at the last few games, because we got PSG away and Dortmund at home. I think we need to get a win in one of those
Dortmund
to finish.
flying.
Yeah, and we need to get a win in one of those to finish in the top 8, I think.
Absolutely. Because you're going to have to beat Copenhagen. You're going to have to beat Slavia, for sure.
Those have to be no negotiation. 6 points in those 2 games.
And then who else is there?
Dortmund at home and PSG away.
And another one.
Is there another one in there as well?
We've got 5 more games.
Who's the other game?
Frankfurt away as well.
Oh, we got Frankfurt away. Yeah, which is also a difficult game.
So we need 10 points. I think probably.
I don't think we make top 8.
10 points from 5 games.
I think we needed to win this one if we were going to make it. I just don't. I can't. Look, I think PSG they're going to absolutely wipe the floor with us if we play like this. However, we pulled it out of the bag when we played PSG in the Super Cup, and we had a very good game. But PSG, were just off the back of a holiday, and it was like a pre-season game for them. We had already had our pre-season, and both teams in different phases. So I think it'll be a very different game when we go out to Paris in a couple of games. Away at Frankfurt, we could do a job there. And at home to Dortmund is going to be a tough game. But we could win that if we put our minds to it.
Home form's just been so bad.
Yeah.
Even against Vicario, nothing to shout out about.
I think we'll do very well to finish the top 8, but I just can't see it at this moment in time.
Well, the way we're playing, I agree. We were predicting 17 points before.
Yeah.
And hasn't turned out. I think we just got a lot of work to do.
We were predicting that on the back of those PSG and Man City performances. Mm-hmm. Where have those gone?
Well, we haven't played. The thing is, we played. This is what we were saying. This is exactly what I said after the PSG and City games. It's not those games necessarily in the setup that I'm worried about, because those games, those teams, are really gonna leave all the space you want because they are coming to beat you. They're coming to win. It's these games against good sides, but are going to show you a bit of respect. They're also going to try and win the game, but they're not going to leave you the space that City and PSG are going to leave you. Those I want to see, because then you have to be a bit more intricate. You're going to have to show a bit more attacking endeavour, but you're going to have to push your team up a bit more without leaving yourself too exposed. And we can't seem to do that at the moment. It seems as though we haven't got any sort of attacking structure in play to break teams down who aren't giving us the space that City and PSG give us. But defensively as well, it's like if we push too much, we're getting caught out too much as well.
Yeah. So
it leaves us being a bit more defensive. But it's not nice to watch. And also, we're still conceding chances and goals.
Yeah.
So that's the worry.
I guess if we want to finish on a couple of positives, I think a positive today was Wilson Odebear. That first half performance, I thought, really stepped up for the team, and I think that's more evidence of him going in the right direction. And I think another positive, as however badly we've been playing over the last few weeks, we're still, even when we're playing terrible, we're not losing too many games, you know what I mean? We're still stuck in the game. Vicario got us, a get out of jail free card today a couple of times, but we didn't lose.
No, I don't think playing like that is sustainable.
No, I agree with that, but we have performed poorly in quite a few games and still haven't lost. So whatever you want to say about Thomas Frank and the style of play and all that kind of stuff, it hasn't been great for a large part of the season so far. And we've only lost 2 of those games.
Yeah, Gray as well.
And when I'm taking that as a positive, that's when things are quite bad.
I think Gray was a positive as well. I think he was quite good.
Yeah,
I thought when he moved into midfield as well. And I actually thought Moani interesting.
Yeah, I agree with that, Moani.
When he came on, a bit of hold-up play, he actually showed something. And he didn't really have too many opportunities to score or whatever. But I thought in his hold-up play was actually quite good. I like that.
I like Moani. There was one moment when he kind of flicked it over the defender, and he was actually trying to make stuff happen, and he was being a bit aggressive. It was Javi that was the one that really disappointed me. I thought João Palhinha as well had some good moments in the game, but look, it was all down to the Vicario today. He was by far our best player, probably the best player on the pitch, to be honest.
Man, I, to be honest, when was the last time you saw a keeper have as good a game as that?
Not for a long time.
Probably that's up there with
probably the Vicario against Man City.
That's up there with one of the best goalkeeping performances in the Tottenham shirt I think I've seen.
Yeah, I mean that is his best performance in the Tottenham shirt. Up there with that Man City. Was it the 3-2 game? Was it the 3-2 game? The 4-0 game. Sorry.
Yeah. I think I might be one. I'm trying to think off the top of my head who better goalkeeping performances than that one we've just witnessed.
Yeah, it was unbelievable.
Very few. so many world-class saves in there, and we got a clean sheet as well.
Yeah, I think Porro needs to do a lot better. By the way, today I thought he put in a really poor performance, particularly in the first half. It's just passing was so wayward. You got to look at who else? Richarlison as well. He needs to be doing a lot more. Like, what does Richarlison offer us? Like since those first 3 games of the season where he put in worldies, he's offered us nothing, literally nothing.
But I feel like as well, he's just so isolated all the time.
But even when he gets the moments, like he's just like in the first 3 games of the season, he was dropping deep, he was linking up the play, he was being aggressive, he was winning the ball back. Like he's not doing any of that at the moment.
Yeah, I agree. But he was doing some like exceptional stuff in those first few games. Like he was battling centre backs, he was coming away with the ball, he was holding up in like really well.
He was coming into the midfield and winning it back.
And now it's like that's really left his game. But that was also never kind of sustainable to keep that up. You've got to get players around him. He's got to get better service as well. I feel like we're not getting any service into him, and and he's not doing well enough as well. He's not offering anything.
Yeah,
but I think
Moani's got to come in though. Moani's got to come in on the weekend.
Moani start.
Yeah, Moani's got to come in on the weekend. I think he showed glimpses today, so I'm happy with that cameo from Moani. But look, at the end of the day, nowhere near good enough today. We got out of jail massively. The score says 0-0, but on the balance of play, it should have been about 3-4, 5-0.
Yeah.
And like literally, name your scoreline. It could have been that today. So that is our instant match reaction. Let us know your thoughts on the game in the comments section below. We've got a new segment to bring you today as well. We're going to do instant player ratings. So the system here has picked player ratings. So we're going to go through them and see how accurate.
The system. It sounds like some like creepy AI like
it is
overlord.
It's the system.
The system.
The system has picked player ratings, so we're going to go through them and see how accurate they are. So here's Vicario. They've given him an 8.7, and I think he deserves more than that, to be honest. 8.7.
SofaScore gave him a 10.
Really, a 10? Wow. I've never seen a 10 for a goalkeeper before. But 8 saves.
I'll give him, 9 at least, at the very least. Maybe a 10. Why not a 10?
Yeah. I don't think in the history of We Are Tottenham TV a goalkeeper has ever got a 10 in their player rating.
I think if there was ever an occasion, I think this would be the one.
Yeah, you might be right. But 8 saves, 2 clearances, 18 long balls, 5 accurate long balls, and 49 touches. So that's 8.7 from Vicario.
2.68 goals prevented.
Wow. Archie Gray, they've given him a 7, which I think is pretty fair. 4 clearances, 2 duels, 31 passes, dispossessed once, 1 foul drawn, 28 accurate passes, 52 touches.
Yeah.
I thought Archie was decent today.
And I thought he did well at left back, and when he moved into midfield, he also did quite well as well.
Yeah.
I'm impressed with his physicality.
Yeah, absolutely.
Very impressed with that.
I feel like Archie Gray, he really is trying to stake a claim for a first team spot at the moment because, every time he plays, he pretty much plays well. Next up is Pedro Porro. They've given him a 7 as well. To rate Porro the same as Archie Gray, I think that's doing a disservice to the system, to be honest.
The system.
4 clearances, 2 duels, 1 foul drawn, 78. They haven't got his pass percentage. I don't know what it was, but so many key passes that he missed today that on another day he'll be getting them.
Yeah, I think we should be a 5 at the most. Porro, I think maybe a 4. He was very sloppy today, careless. I think defensively though, actually,
he was decent.
Was all right.
Yeah, but on the ball, where he earns his money on the ball. You know what I mean? How good he is on the ball.
67% passing accuracy.
Yeah, you know what I mean. That's really poor. Mickey van der Ven gets a 7.6. 2 aerials, 1, 4 duels, 1, 4 clearances. 2 times he drew a foul. 7.6 for Mickey. What are you saying?
Yeah, I didn't have a problem with Mickey. To be honest, I think most of our defensive problems actually, if you watch it back, will be from our midfield not tracking their runners, and I think Mickey did quite well. I think I think there was that one moment as well, bodied Balogun when he looked like he could have been through. Brilliant moment.
Kevin Danso has been given a 7.3 from the system.
Good long throws, I think, as well today.
Yeah, they're actually causing a few panics and problems. 6 clearances, 5 duels, 1. 3 aerial duels, 1 as well. It just felt like any time the ball was in the air anywhere close to him, he would win it.
I think it was good.
Yeah, 7.3 is that
I think it's
fair?
fair.
Moving into João Palhinha gets a 6.7. I thought it was up and down from João Palhinha today. There was a number of times where he put in a few real crunching challenges and helped us win the ball back, but I don't think it was maybe as strong as maybe what he's shown this season.
Yeah, there, as you say, like there was times in the game where like, yeah, go on, João, sorry, like get involved, and he was really getting the ball back in really good areas, but there was moments where he just passed it forward, João.
Yeah.
Pass the ball forward. He's like allergic to it.
Yeah.
And when he does it, he's also not great at it.
Yeah.
So that's a problem.
Bentancur 6.3, so a fairly low rating for him. There's just nothing in the stats. No key passes, no crosses, obviously, no shots, 26 accurate passes.
Are these actually up to date? 'Cause that says 60.
Oh,
no, he went off at 60, didn't he?
did he? Yeah, he did, yeah.
Right, yes, yeah. So, yeah. I don't think he was great, was he?
No.
He wasn't a great...
Just anonymous, really.
Yeah.
Lucas Bergvall gets a 6.2. It probably should be lower than that, to be honest. I thought he put in a bit of a stinker today, like Lucas.
Unfortunately, nearly cost us a couple of goals in the first half with some sloppy, careless playing around the box and offered nothing as well, unfortunately, in the final third.
Wilson Odebear, he gets a 6.8. And I'll say that's probably fair because in the first half, he looked bright and he was trying to make stuff happen and he looked really good, but still didn't create too many chances from what he was doing. And in the second half, he was a bit anonymous. Yeah,
I think he's getting better. He is getting better and he's getting more confident. He's not scared to take on his man down. You can see that confidence flowing. He's making decisions quicker. But he had that one shot, didn't he, in the second half, but did fade away, unfortunately. Obviously, he got that bash to the ribs. Yes, still, obviously, when you're starting winger for Tottenham, you want more.
Yeah. But steps in the right direction.
Yeah.
Mohamed Kudus gets 6.9, one shot, 2 key passes, 2 accurate crosses, 15 out of his 18 passes were accurate as well. I thought Kudus was decent today. I know it wasn't his best performance by any stretch of the imagination, but he was at least a threat and he was hard to handle. I
think he might have been taken off because he just wasn't giving enough support to Porro.
Maybe.
And they were just getting in behind time and time again. At that time, I think he got a bit tired. He didn't see as much of the ball as he does in other games, I would say.
And Richarlison, the last of the starting 11, 6.7. I mean, I don't know how he's got away with that one. 6.7. He had 20 touches, 7 passes, 1 key pass, and 1 shot as your number 9.
Yeah.
How's he got away with 6.7?
And he had the one big chance probably that we had from open play, or second one in that first half. Brilliant from Odebear, and he just takes too long to shoot, doesn't he? And he was just anonymous throughout the game. Yeah.
And in the subs, you got Pape Matar, played half an hour, 1 key pass, 7 accurate passes out of 9. No other real 16 touches. I thought he was poor, to be honest, Pape.
I agree. I wasn't too happy with him, to be honest, when he came on. I don't think he was that good.
Next up is Javi, 6.7. Don't know how he's got away with a 6.7 because I thought he was pretty shocking.
Yeah, should be doing more. Had a couple of opportunities to really make the difference and squandered them.
Brennan Johnson, 6.6. Again, he did nothing. He had
pass.
1 big chance. He had 1 pass. I don't. How's he got a 6.6?
I've got no idea what they base this on.
Madness.
He obviously missed that big chance.
Madness. And Moani and Brennan has been rated the same at 6.6. I don't get that.
Yeah, I thought Moani was all right.
At least Moani made 3 more passes than Brennan. And the last,
foul.
Yeah, and the last one is Jed Spence, who got a 6.3.
Really? A bit harsh.
He made 10 passes as well, 9 accurate ones. How's he being rated that lower than?
I thought he was all right.
Then yeah, I did as well. How's he rated that lower than Brennan Johnson?
I don't know what are these ratings on.
The system, mate. The system, mate.
You must always follow the system.
Exactly. But look, that is the player ratings. Let us know your thoughts. How accurate do you think they are? Let us know in the comment section below. But now it is time for you guys to have your say on the game today. And first up, I can see him shaking his head on the camera. Mr. Amir. How you doing, Amir?
I'm doing well, lads. I'm doing well. How are we doing after that robbery? It was almost as big as the robbery at the Louvre, wasn't it?
Brilliant.
Mate, that was absolutely shocking. If that game finishes 4-0 to Monaco, no one's batting an eyelid. I mean, what did you put it down to today?
Do you know what? I think it's a real mix of things, Ben, to be honest with you. If Frank's come in, he's got new players to kind of gel into the squad. Players don't really know each other that well yet. There's no real fluidity in our attacking play. It all looks a bit scruffy. Quality players are misplacing passes. It's looking very, very, very scruffy at the moment. And I just think that it's going to take a while for him to get the team gelling and getting attacking moves going. And, apart from Kudus, really, he's the only one that kind of, looks like he's got something about him, can beat a player or two. Although Odegaard did okay in that first half, at least he was taking his man on. He got a couple of shots off. So he was improving. I just think it's going to take a while, lads. We're expecting too much too early from Frank, in my opinion. And we're going to just have to be patient with it because it does take time. If you look at teams that are stuck together for over 2, 3, 4 seasons, someone like a Villa who beat us on the weekend, they know, it's almost like that Kane and Sonny telepathic way they were playing together. That takes time to build, and I just think there are positives to take from that, and a point, is huge for us really away at Monaco.
Well, you think it's a huge point? Because I'm looking at it, right? Because I'm looking at it, because I'm here, when the fixtures came out for the Champions League, we're all saying, with the fixtures that we've got, we got to finish in the top 8, right? Now we've drawn away to Bodo, we've drawn away now to Monaco in both games at which, we should have lost, really. We've got hard games now coming with PSG away. We've got to play Dortmund at home, who are flying. Got to go to Frankfurt as well, with 2 games which you've got to get 6 points at in Copenhagen and Slavia Prague. Can you see us finishing in that top 8 now?
No, I think the top 8 went out the window with the draw at Bodo, to be honest with you. Not even this game. I think you need to get 3 points at Bodo if you want to look at that top 8. So I think we are looking at that. What is it? The top 24 for the playoff. So
yeah.
Look, as long as we're in there, I'll be happy. I don't want people to get too negative on what happened today. Although it was very frustrating. I was screaming at the telly. Joanna was telling me to calm down. But after taking a breath and realizing that it's a point away at Monaco. Yeah, we got away with 1. On any other day, look, they would have scored 3 or 4. Minamino obviously had half a size boot too big or too small or something because, when he was at Liverpool, he was finishing. So I don't know what's going on at Monaco. But, we got away with 1 today. Big Vic proving, he's our number 1 and pulling off incredible saves. And I just look. Go on, Sim. Sorry. Go on.
No, I was just going to say, I'm seeing a lot of people on social media and stuff. They're starting to say, what is Frank's plan when we're going forward? Because at the moment, in the last few games, again today, when did we look at our most threatening set pieces, or when we give the ball to Kudus? That's when we're looking at our best. That the last 5 games, that's been a similar pattern. And things don't seem to be, in the short term anyway, changing from that front. So what do you think about that?
Look, I'd love to see it be a little bit more fluid. I just think you need to get these players playing week in, week out. So if Xavi's your guy, he should have maybe started today. If, you're thinking to play him in that 10 there. If you're thinking that Muani is going to be your guy going forward, play him from the start. Maybe he doesn't have the minutes yet. Maybe he'll get the start against Everton. I don't know. But I think you have to start building consistency with players, playing week in, week out, and building some relationships there on the pitch. I thought Archie Gray did all right. And again, he needs to be getting a few more minutes for me. I know it's a hard thing to ask Spurs fans, right, for a bit more patience, but I think we do need to be a little bit more patient with Frank, with the players, with some of these youngsters. You know, it's a fast learning curve. Someone like Xavi, for me, all the talent is there. He's taken a huge step up. He hasn't quite produced in these first, 5, 6 games that we've seen him. But we gotta stick by him. We gotta give him the confidence as fans, as supporters. Get behind him. Get behind these youngsters. Get behind your Wilson Odebears. Let's try and give these young players a bit of confidence so they can start flowing and start gelling a little bit better. We've also got to remember, right? We're missing 3 huge players in that attacking force. You've got Kulu, Madders, and Dom all out. Do we look completely different with those guys in it? I think so. I think the attack must look different with those guys.
But also, I get that, and I agree. It's not just those 3 players, but 10 players out today from the first team or the first team squad in total. But back on Thomas Frank, we've seen a similar pattern all season where no matter who plays in midfield, a lot of people are laying into Bentancur for it when he starts alongside Palhinha about too many sideways passes in the middle of the park. And today there were so many options where Palhinha or a Bentancur would get it in the middle of the park. There were options forward, but too often they go sideways or backwards. Is that due to personnel or is that due to an instruction from Thomas Frank?
I don't think that's an instruction, to be honest with you, Ben. Like, why would you instruct it to play sideways? It's not.
So why is it the same no matter who plays in the middle of the park?
It could be that we're always trying to go down the wings, right? So we're trying to spread the ball sideways and then get the ball down the wings either to Odebear or Kudus. Where I think, if a fluid attack can go down either wing and can go through the middle. Not to compare us, right? But I was watching Barcelona yesterday, and honestly, anyone that was watching that match, it was just a joy to see those youngsters just pinging the balls around and the technique, the control, everything that we couldn't do today, Barca were doing with ease yesterday, with ease. And I just think that it's going to take a bit of time, Ben, for us to see these attacking plays and players pinging 1-2 touch. We kind of always trying to hold on to the ball for too long. Players are always, 1 extra touch, 2 extra touch. Why? Get the ball wide, get the ball into space. Get players running at defenders. Whether that's in the centre, whether that's down the wings. And I just don't think we do enough of that at the moment. But yeah, with regards to your question, I don't think it can be Thomas Frank asking them to go sideways. Why would you? Why would you as a manager ask?
Because he wants to build up out wide instead of through the centre.
Yeah, but if you look at some of the goals that we scored, right, go back to West Ham. How did that goal come about? It was a lovely ping ball from Romero, and Bergvall made the run and straight, route one.
That's different though. That's not like building up play through the middle. That was just a direct ball over the top. I'm talking about the midfielders when they're trying to build up play through the middle.
Well, I hope it's not. I hope it's not an instruction from Frank, and I hope it's just a natural outcome of us going down the wings. Because it doesn't make sense to me if it is an instruction. Because if say you're in a position where Bentancur or Paulinho's nick the ball in the on the edge of the halfway line or just behind that, and he's got Xavi ahead of him and Richie up there, and Xavi's free, why not knock the ball into Xavi and try and turn and play Richie in or play Omuani in? It doesn't make sense to always go down the wings. Yeah, we've got threats down those wings in Kudus, in Odebear, in Johnson occasionally when he's on it.
He's got to finish that. Snatch and grab was there for him, man.
Oh, mate, can you imagine? The thing is, I think he just rushed it. He could have he had time to take a touch and pick his place. He just kind of fluffed at it. Same way Muani fluffed at his chance on the weekend when he could have got an equaliser. So
yeah. We're talking about that. We keep hammering on about our attacking frailties, but there's defensive frailties as well today. Massive. Like, we should have conceded lots of goals. What was that down to? How are we so open? If we're that bad going forward like we were today, you expect at least there should be a bit more solid defensively, but that was nowhere to be seen today, and it was similar against Boda.
Yep. No, you're right. You're right, Sim. There are frailties there in that defence. I actually thought Danso did okay, but you get Romero out of the team, and things do kind of look a lot more shaky as soon as Kuti comes out of the team.
I don't think we've won a game, have we? Without Kuti.
No,
Maybe Doncaster.
well, it doesn't really, that's Carabao Cup, League One. But yeah, it's a bit of a worry sim, to be honest with you. I just think that when you do get Kuti back in there, it will look a lot more solid.
Apparently he's missing for about a month.
A month?
Well, the next 3 games, apparently, at least.
Oh. Well, attack's the best form of defence in that case. Let's go at Everton, let's go at these teams. Let's just go.
Yeah, but we're not doing it. We're not doing it.
Well, Frank's got to tweak it then, right? If Plan A isn't working, you shift over to Plan B, and if Plan B doesn't work, you shift over to Plan C. I'm sure Frank has a few tricks up his sleeve, and I fully expect us to go up to Everton. It's going to be a very, very tough game up there, but to give them a very, very good game, very good game up there. And look, I'm hopeful we can nick the 3 points. We've been brilliant on our travels in the Prem so far, so why not? Why not go and nick
best away team in the Premier League? I think we are at this moment in time.
Amir, was this the best ever goalkeeping performance you've seen in a Tottenham shirt, do you think?
One of them for sure. I mean, it was save after save from Big Vic. It was incredible. He really, really kept us in that game. What's that?
I know we didn't. Someone in the back end speaking. It's all right. Keep going.
Oh yeah, no, I'm just saying. On any other day, we're losing that 4 or 5 even. It was really, we were giving up too many easy chances. Clear on 6, 7, 8 yards out. Some of those Minamino ones. You're thinking, how is he not putting that away? That fantastic one at the end as well with the header. Vic kept us in that, and I'm sure the lads will be very, very grateful for his performance, because he kind of that point's on him really, on Big Vic. He got us that
100%. And finally, just last question, Richarlison, man, because since the first 3 games of the season, he's been really poor in my opinion. Surely Muani's got to start on the weekend, right?
I would start Muani. I've got to be honest with you. He showed more in that 20 minutes than Richie did that whole 65. I think it comes down to a couple of things. He does run on confidence, does Richie, and being in and out of the team is never good for him. I also think the style of play we're playing is not really that suited to his style of game. We're not really whipping that many balls in, searching for him, headers. That's not really the type of game we're playing. So, yeah, I do think he's got to sit this one out at Everton and maybe come off the bench and do something. But I think Muani now, he deserves his chance.
Amir, always a pleasure, my man. Finally back on the fan shows. You've been sitting in this hot seat regularly, and now you're back on the fan shows, mate. So good to have you back.
Big up, Amir.
That's it, guys. Yeah, big up, guys. And, let's keep our heads up. We'll go again on Sunday. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.
Come on.
Yeah.
All right, next up, King Oasis.
Sunshine. How you doing, mate?
You all right?
Not bad, mate. You?
I'm good, thank you.
Can you put a positive spin on that today?
Other than Vicario, no. Vicario was our man of match. Man of
the match by far, wasn't he?
Yeah, he was amazing today. I thought, he was absolutely amazing. Proved all the doubters wrong.
He said after the game that our standards and basic level have to be higher. Why are the standards not higher?
I don't know.
That's 2 away performances now in the Champions League that have been really bad. Deserve to lose both. Why is our away performances so different in the Champions League as they are to the Premier League?
was so good in the Prem, but we seem to not be able to do it in Europe for whatever reason. I've got no idea why, but to be honest, we were absolutely poor today. Like Richarlison was, I'm trying not to swear, but he was absolutely crap today.
Yeah.
Absolutely crap. Alinea was all right. Danso was all right. We are missing Romero. And do you know how long he's out for? Do we not know yet?
We don't know. We've heard a few weeks, 2-3 weeks maybe. We don't know. We'll have to wait and see. I think till some results come back next. I'm sure we'll have more of an idea next week.
Oh, cool. But yeah.
Why do you think we struggled so much to defend today?
I think we're missing Romero. I honestly think Romero is the key of our defence. All right, Van der Ven was amazing today, but I don't know. Porro was shocking as well. Porro was
But it
terrible.
can't all fall apart just because Romero's not there. I mean, Danso and Van der Ven are still very good defenders.
I know. We can't rely on Romero all the time because at the end of the day, he is going to miss games. But yeah, we were shocking today. I'm surprised we didn't lose, to be honest. I'm surprised we didn't lose.
We're going to finish in the top 8? Any chances of that still?
Well, I kind of agree with what you said, Ben. If we won today, we were in for the top 8, but I don't think so. I think we've got Copenhagen next.
Copenhagen, then PSG, yeah.
I think we should win Copenhagen. Not sure about PSG, but yeah.
All right, well, King Oasis, mate, thank you for coming on today, my friend.
Welcome.
Cheers, mate.
See you next time. That was King Oasis. Next up is Mr. George Orton. George, no smile on your face today, mate. That was a shocking watch. You made an interesting comment, didn't you, in on the live chat? You were saying that Frank lost the game for us at half time. What did you mean by that?
I knew you were going to ask me that. Partly, not making the changes so obviously the first 2 substitutions he made. Sim, you said that he should make those, and I said he should make those as well at half time. It's again just waiting for that 15 minutes, and it just makes me think, what is he waiting for? Has he implemented some sort of tactic at half time when he's spoken to them, and he wants to see how that plays out before doing it? Now that's what I'd assume most managers do, and before everyone in the comments gets onto me, I'm not, out of anything I say in the next 5 minutes, I'm not saying bring Ange back or Frank out, but I am going to be critical on Thomas Frank today, because I think when we did have Ange, we saw a massive uplift after half time. There was always a team talk and there was always an uplift. Okay, always is a bit of a stretch, but a
bit of a stretch.
8 times out of 10, I saw an increase in desire from the players at least. Whereas today, it was the complete opposite. And it's not even just today that's worrying for me. It's been ever since the Doncaster game. Now, I can't really remember the Doncaster game, if that was one of the good ones or one of the bad ones. Looking at my ratings for that game, I think it was one of the good ones. But Wolves, Bodo, and Villa, and again today, they've just not been good enough. And again, I want to agree with what's been said already and disagree with it at the same time. We've got to give them time. We can't be saying Frank out. It's too early for that. He has to have time. But what we're seeing is worrying. It really is.
But we have seen before, you know, Pochettino struggling early on, and then it changes dramatically. You know, I still firmly believe in Thomas Frank that he can get it right. But I get it, it's not been good enough. It's not nowhere near been good enough.
And that's why I say it's way too early to be saying Frank out for me. But something isn't working. And the one thing I always come back to is Paulinho and Bentancur playing together. And the thing that frustrates me the most, and a lot of football fans, is when fans can see something as blatant as that and it still just keeps happening. We're told we need to make the home a fortress. and then we go and lose to Villa how we did. And that was the ultimate way to make Thomas Frank look stupid. And then we've had a game like today. So there's going to be people who will like jump the gun and say Frank out, especially in our fan base. We are the most toxic, quick to judge fan base in the world.
Yeah.
However, he does have to take some of the blame. Over the past 5 games, I've rated him 1-7, 2 4s, a 2, and a 1. And that is not good enough. And I think some of it comes down to inexperience, maybe, with not having to juggle this many fixtures and being hamstrung at his outset when he was signing the players. Obviously, he who shall not be named left after the transfer window closed. So that again, it's another reason why I say we shouldn't be saying Frank out yet. But something's got to change, and as you were saying with Romero, a big part of why we're missing him, I think, is because of his creativity. And when we're relying on a centre back for creativity, something's not going right in midfield because his creativity is launching long balls, diagonal balls from the right centre back all the way up to the left winger. Now, I don't know if you saw my fan show midweek, where you probably did, where I said about Odebear being a really good player against Villa, and I think he was one of the best today.
I think you said that he showed Kudus how it's done.
In that one game. Yeah, no, I kind of like when I watched it back, I kind of regretted phrasing it the way I phrased it because that it sounded like I was saying he's better than Kudus. He's not, but against Villa he was, and I think that was probably a bit of both. Whereas today he really stepped up to the plate, but we've got to give props to Vic.
Absolutely.
As most goalkeepers do whenever they're in the firing line. I think Onana's probably the only one who didn't do it when they're in the firing line, show the haters why they're there. Onana obviously kept messing up. But I'm glad that Vic sort of had a good game today. Hopefully he goes off the confidence of that and builds it up. But yeah, what your boys' opinion?
How worrying is it for you though, George? You know, how bad we looked going forward, but also defensively today, just carved open time and time again. So from both facets, you know, at least in other games when we've looked a bit stodgy going forward, at least we can look back on defensively, we look fairly solid. But, you know, against Boda and today, wasn't to be seen.
Yeah.
So what would you put that down to?
You can only put it down to cohesion without calling out any like individual players. You can only put it down to cohesion. But if we're going to call out players, and I think he's a really good player, so I hate to do it. But it's whenever Jed is on the pitch, we seem to just get caught out, and I think it might be where he.
But Jed only had 10 minutes today. He only had 10 minutes today.
And we actually had our best spell in the second half when Jed was on the pitch.
But I would say that's when we were carved open most. When he was on the pitch.
I'm not sure about that because they had real good chances in the first half. Even before Jed came on, they should have scored many in the second half as well. So, in my opinion, I think that's a bit harsh on Jed for today.
Yeah, again, that's why I say I don't want to call him out because again, I do feel like that is being really harsh on it. But I think it's got something to do with when you've got him and Porro on the pitch, they're both going up, and also when. At the same time, when Romero's not playing, you see Mickey, he steps forwards a lot more than he usually does. When Romero's there, obviously you've always got one of them back. But at the minute with him and Danso, again, I think Danso played really well, so I'm not holding anything against him. But I think when you've got them together and because they're not used to playing with each other, there's a bit of communication. It's not even communication, it's just a lack of instinctively knowing what each other are going to do. But yeah, I think Porro had a really poor showing today, but I don't think we can hold that against him. I think he's fatigued, and we can't blame Frank for not having another right back. He's got to do what he's got to deal with.
Well, did Archie show today that he can come in and maybe be an option at fullback then?
Yeah, for me he did.
So you can play Spence at right back and Archie at left back, or vice versa.
Yeah.
So there are options there.
we're always told that Spence is a right back. I still think he plays best for us at left back.
But
Not that I
actually,
watch
you know, a
any
lot of criticisms come from Jed in terms of going forward and his relationships, particularly with Odebear on the left-hand side. Maybe if he's on his favoured side, he might attack a bit better because he's on his right foot.
Yeah, and again, that's what I'm saying. He's definitely not a bad player. And I was one of the people. I think it was maybe Brian, but it might have been one of you guys. I said it to as well. Where I think the reason we've been seeing Odebear and a lot of criticisms come from Odebear is because him and Jed just don't work together. When you see Odebear with Doggy, you see them linking up, and when you see him with Jed doesn't continue the runs through, so Odebear's then left to battle two players on his own, one coming in from behind, one coming in from in front. And that could be down to Jed being on his unfavoured side. I don't know.
It's
But again,
interesting,
this
though.
is where Frank
It's
is paid the
interesting.
money to figure this out.
Yeah, 100%. But it's interesting, like the narrative now with Jed, like we're all saying pretty much like he's a defensive fullback and his best traits are one-on-one defending and defending. When we signed him, we all were saying like his best traits are being an attacking fullback, using his pace to get in behind and you know, spread us wide up the pitch and getting those crosses in the box. And that's like completely flipped, doesn't it?
Yeah, I think
You can say the same about Archie Gray. We signed him as a midfielder, and I think I've seen one game where he's played midfield for us where he's been good. I think there's 2 or 3 where he's played in midfield, and I thought, I'll just put him back in defence. He's phenomenal in defence. But again, that was under Ange, though, so it could have been the tactics. But yeah, it's not good enough. It needs to improve, but we also need to not jump the gun. I know top 8 is now a long shot. I'm really, really, really worried about United, Arsenal, and PSG, and the amount of confidence players we've got. I'm then worried about the few weeks after that as well.
Well, judging by how he played against the back five today, we haven't been. I think we haven't been good against back fives because we focus our attacks down the wings, and when they got their wing backs there, it's a lot harder to do that, I feel, and so we get even more nullified. And on the flip side, if our wingers aren't tracking back, their wing backs are getting more play out wide, and then you're seeing Akliush and Fatty get so much joy like you did today. So I think that's something that Frank's got to sort out.
Absolutely.
100%.
But George, good to see you, mate. Thanks for calling
Cheers
in.
for having us on again. As
Always
always.
a pleasure.
Come on,
you
Spurs. Always
Spurs.
go the wrong way, man.
Come on, George. Big up to yourself, man.
In a bit.
Frank has said tonight that the number of shots conceding tonight was concerning. They had more shots than I would have liked. If it was every game, it would be a big challenge, but it's not. We played Villa and conceded only 8 shots.
Yeah, but okay, fine. I understand that. It's not every game, but it's becoming more frequent. It's the problem. Bodo was the same.
Yeah,
You know?
100%. Anyway, let's go on and let's bring on Ariane. Come on, Ariane. What kind of positive spin can you put on that for me today? Addy's on mute.
That game, none. That game, none. The only one I've got for you is Vicario. Vicario. I told you all. There's somebody in the back end who I have to constantly talk about Vicario with. But yeah, it was shit, wasn't it? That was pretty shit.
Come on, Ariane.
Look,
give me something, man. I'm saying let him cook.
I'll give you a few things. I'll give you a few things. I think the number one thing that people are doing a little too much over is kind of what you just did and what I've seen on Twitter, where people will go on the interview and say, "Oh, Frank said this. He's not." If you look at like anything, and here's the thing, I've been a fan of Thomas Frank for like, yeah, I'd say like probably since in the summer that we appointed Ange, I was one who said I think Frank would be a good one, and I was looking at him then, and Frank is this guy who he doesn't like to go out. Same with Ange, he doesn't like to go out and berate players, even when if you see like that one video where the Sky Sports was like interviewing him throughout like his day in life at Brentford, he's a guy who's very, very big on like positive reinforcement. That's just his style. That doesn't mean that he doesn't that doesn't mean that he doesn't see a problem. Like I don't think he's blind. And if you look at Brentford's evolution in the 7 years that Thomas Frank managed them, they went from a side that was a lot more solid. I mean, look at the years that they were in the Premier League, because obviously I'm not going to pretend like I was watching them in the Championship. So in the 5 years they were in the Premier League, first season they were a very, very solid, difficult side to play. Second season they had a massive, massive dip in form until Eriksen came in and they were a bit more, got a little rejuvenated, managed to survive. And in the 3 years after, they get progressively more progressive. They were more threatening, and I think in the last year we saw they lose Ivan Toney. Everybody's saying this might be the year they go down. And the players that he developed on his, with his own coaching staff over the years, with especially Wissa and Mbeumo, step up massively. They're one of the most threatening two attackers in the entire league. And Brentford become a team that you really hate to see directly going at you. So that shows that over the years, Thomas Frank's teams become gradually more threatening. Am I saying that means it's okay because Tottenham should be relegation candidates for 2 years and then we'll be better? Obviously not. But my point is the progression of Thomas Frank's teams always are like this. He will solidify you and then he will take you to become more threatening, more direct, more aggressive. That doesn't mean that today is acceptable. Obviously, he's going to have to work on that because I think somebody mentioned it, that pivot with Palhinha and Bentancur is unacceptable. Especially, I think I have a little bit less problem with it away from home, but especially at home, we should not be playing that pivot because it kills us and nullifies us. Every time we've talked about our struggling attack, I've always said the same thing on this channel, and it's our team, any team, is characterized by either our technical ability or our energy. And when you have Palhinha and Bentancur, you have neither technical ability in that pivot or energy. So when we are completely technically dominated, when Minamino, Akiluce, Golovin, they're just pinging the ball around us, so we have no answer. And if we can't technically outplay them, we have to be able to be the more energetic team, and we're not. When you don't have Sarr on the pitch, when you don't have Romero on the pitch able to win a lot of these duels, when you don't have Udogie on the pitch or Spence for the we don't have any energy, any physicality to counter them with. So exactly what you would expect to happen was we had no energy and no technical ability. What did you expect to happen? Absolutely nothing. So that doesn't. He's got to figure that out. Like, yes, there's personnel issues there, but we have to pick a side here. And a lot of the times when we pick that pivot, we're neither energetic nor technical, and that's the main problem with the team.
And what about all this side-to-side passing as well, which, a lot of people are taking issue with how those midfielders play. Like, is Frank telling them to constantly just play it out wide and not progress the ball forward? Because today, so many opportunities, we win the ball in the middle, play it forward, and we're just passing it sideways again and going backwards. Is that a deliberate ploy from Frank to attack down the side, so just play it side to side, or is it a personnel thing?
No, it's not. It's not his instruction, but it's a consequence of his own decision. Because when you play Palhinha and Bentancur, you have two of the slowest people on the club on the ball. Yeah, that's going to happen because they don't pass it quickly enough. When you get the ball as Bentancur and you wait 3 seconds to turn and pass, yeah, a team like Monaco is going to close you down. Maybe a team like Burnley doesn't. That's why you win 3-0.
But just to pick you up on that, Arian, someone showed a passing map of Gray and Bergvall in that Burnley game, and it was very similar to what we've seen from Bentancur and Palhinha.
I don't know. I don't think it is, because if you look at Frank's best years at Brentford, they've always been a direct side. I don't think that's his instruction. I think it's just a consequence. It's a consequence of his action. I don't think it's his intention. So that's why I'm hopeful that he's going to fix it. I don't really know what else to say about that, because it's not good enough. Everyone knows it's not good enough. And maybe it would work better if we had. And I know, here's the thing. I know people are praising Odegaard, and rightly so. I think it was very good, especially that one chance that he created for Richarlison, who waited 8 years to shoot. But I think a lot of Odegaard's joy is actually coming from Kudus, because they have to mark Kudus. So Odegaard gets a ton of space, and he looks nice, but he doesn't do anything. And that's kind of why we struggle so much. Yeah, you're thinking, yeah, Odegaard looked really bright today, but like he really created one chance, So if that you think if Kudus got the ball that many times with that much space, we create only one chance? Because I don't think so.
Yeah.
Right, and that's what it is. When you have our biggest threat, which is just Kudus, double marked and just completely taken out of the game because you can just overload him, and you can afford to do that because none of our other players can do anything. And that's why I say we need to wait for personnel, because as much as Frank gets valid criticism, at the end of the day, in a serious Tottenham scene, this version of Odegaard doesn't start. Richarlison doesn't start. I don't think Gray starts at left back. I don't think Bentancur starts. A lot of these players, and Danso doesn't start. 5 players just named in a serious side don't start. And as much as criticism as you want to give Thomas Frank, that's just the reality. We have 5 players that shouldn't be anywhere near a top team. And that's kind of where it starts and ends for me. So, given that Frank's teams have always improved over time, there's not a single season you can point at and say Brentford were better last season than this season. I think that is enough for me to think, look, even though things are bad right now, I trust him to figure it out.
I do agree with that, to be fair. In terms of the Champions League group now, I mean, when we saw the fixtures at the start, we all thought top 8 was shoo-in for top 8. We got really kind fixtures. How are you looking at it now?
We have to make up for it. I don't think it's realistic. I don't think it's dead the same way. Like, we should be winning a game like Bodo and this, and that means we have to make up for it. If we get a draw and a win if we draw against PSG and beat Dortmund, then, we're back in it. But that's asking a lot. That's what happens when you drop points in easy games. Not easy. There's no easy game in the Champions League, but that's what happens when you drop points in games you should be winning. So we're paying the price, and it's about that. It's exactly that simple, right? So let's see what happens. I think if we finish 11th, then great. But I think the 8th dream is beginning to fade. We are only 1 point from 8th if we want to play that game, but I mean it's 3 games in, so.
It's 1 point, but we got PSG away, Frankfurt away, and Dortmund at home coming.
Yeah, exactly.
But I mean, apart from Vicario, who comes out with the most credit today?
I guess. But again, that's what I said. He had about 80 minutes, or not 80, it was 60 something minutes of a lot of time and space, and he created one really threatening chance. Van de Ven, I think he was pretty bright. I think a lot of the times where and Palhinha as well. Palhinha, Van de Ven, and Vicario are the only reason that we didn't lose that game 7-0. To be honest,
I think it was pretty much Vicario on his own why we didn't lose 7-0.
I also think we have to give a lot of credit to Takumi Minamino. So
yeah, 100%. He was playing for us today.
Absolutely.
Yeah,
absolutely.
Moani for the number 9 against Everton.
Moani, definitely. I mean, I was sick and tired of Richarlison in this game, and which sucks because I've been his biggest advocate for the past 2.5 years, 3 years. I'm just it's done, man. It's completely done. He doesn't offer anything. He doesn't offer any threatening hold-up play. He doesn't offer massive aerial threat anymore. He doesn't offer much of anything. And maybe he's off form, but you can't afford to be off form when you're getting. And again, he's not getting that much service, but it's also he's not allowing any progression of the ball. Every time the ball goes to him and it's not in front of the goal, the play is dead. You can't be in this team if the only time you're useful is in the 6-yard box. You know what I mean? So for me, he was probably next to Johnson the worst player who stepped on the pitch tonight.
He seems to have really gone cold on Johnson, hasn't he? He started him quite a lot early in the season. Now, in the past few weeks, only the Doncaster game, I think the Boda game he started, he's really not getting the starts anymore, is he?
Every time Johnson steps on the pitch, it's genuinely, and I think part of it is not his fault considering he has to come on for Kudus, but even then, it's honestly absurd how quickly our play dies down whatever side Johnson's on. I did not see him touch the ball until he shot it. I don't think he might have had one touch.
I don't think he did. I was saying it at the time. It's just I don't think he's touched the ball. But it's just when you're asking your wingers to be the sole creators of the team, Johnson can't be in the team because he doesn't do anything apart from maybe sometimes put the ball in the back of the net.
Maybe put him in striker. I think he can do something as striker maybe. And this is what I was saying at halftime, and I was like, at some point, because of how bad Richarlison was playing, you got to bring on somebody. I know we have Colomwani, but even if you don't want to bring on Colomwani, bring on Johnson. Bring on fucking Brandon Austin for all I care. How much worse can it get? Richarlison didn't do anything tonight where I'm thinking, you know what, at least he did that. The only thing he did right was put his shirt on the right way. That's all he brought today. So it was bad, and it can be both where things are bad as a team, but I think they'll get better. That's the only positive I have because that was shambolic. But I think we've seen, ironically, the Villa game, we didn't deserve to lose that Villa game. And it came two moments of brilliance from them. And that happens, right? So I think the narrative that we're lucky to not be bottom mid-table, which is what it feels like when you're talking to other people, is a little over the top. Are we overperforming? Yes. Are we the worst team in the league? No. Are we gonna keep getting worse? Probably not. Do we have major people who are not playing? No Udogi, no Madison, no Kulusevski, no Romero. That's 4 pretty big absences. Matter of fact, I think besides Kudus, if you say name the 4 biggest absences, you'd name those 4 players in order, right? So it's one of those where I think of if there was any time to say, you know what, Frank needs time, right? anytime at all, it's right now because we have 4 massive absences. It's the January window coming up, and he just started, right? He himself, when he got appointed, said it'll probably take like 9 or 10 months. He said something like that for his entire philosophy to get better into the team. He said that. So at least give him the season and just see where we end up because it's a little over the top.
100%. It's majorly over the top. It's 8 games into the Premier League season. Like, come on.
Yeah.
But, you know, last 5 games, if you don't take Doncaster into account, only 1 win in all comps with that Leeds away win. Just actually quickly before you go, are you concerned at all with the performances of Javi Siemens? Were you expecting more at this stage?
I was talking about this yesterday, and I think almost all of the shortcomings that Javi Siemens has had in a Spurs shirt are not his fault. I think, like, even today, I think today was probably his worst performance in a Spurs shirt. Even today, if the one moment that people keep talking about where it's like he had it on the counter and he turned, like, I look at that and I'm thinking, like, where is the movement is so shocking off the ball too, where it's like he has to create, but like if you don't give him a window to create, if you don't give him a space to pass into, like he's handcuffed. And I think the few times where a few nifty things that happened in build-up also came through Simmons. And you guys were watching basically. I remember the video you guys did about the stats about how we're relying on Kudus. Like Simmons is the only other guy that's doing anything besides Kudus anyway. So I think it's more of a case of playing through Simmons as a team than like having right now it feels like we're playing our way and Frank has thrown Simmons as a wild card, say you got to do something else, but no one's on the same wavelength as Simmons. I think we're kind of expecting him to solve all the problems instead of actually like giving him a license and playing through him. We're not playing through him, we're playing in spite of him, you know what I mean? That's what it feels like to me. I think if we were able to kind of fix that and you would give him kind of if we play through him, I think it'll be a lot better. But we're not really allowing him to do that. Like you guys see, we've all seen that screenshot where it's like him in the middle with like 2 islands of players. You know, at that point, you can't blame the player. It'll get better. Again, it's just one of those things that I said that's exactly why he's going to start him on the wing when we first came here against West Ham. I said he's probably going to start him on the wing because being a number 10 is a lot of responsibility. You're the identity of the team, you're the heartbeat of the team. It's going to take time to bed in. It's going to take time for the players to play around you. That's just what's happening. You got to wait for him to be able to bed in with the rest of the team, and then you'll get it. But I think if we put him on the left, I think immediately we're going to get a baseline performance from Simmons when you put him on the left. It's a higher ceiling in the middle, but also a lower floor. But if you want a bit more consistency, put him on the left. Every time he's been on the left, he's done kind of something. And I think when he's down the left, actually, Kudus does a little bit more because he's harder to mark than Odegaard, in my opinion. But we'll see.
All right. Ariane, always a pleasure, my friend. Thanks for coming on today. We'll see you next time.
Thanks for having me. And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Come on! Big up to Ariane. And here we go. We've saved the worst till last. Mr. KPV.
Hello.
What you got to say for yourself, KPV?
Don't start this, lads. And what is wrong with you two? Seriously, stop disrespecting the team. We can still finish top 8. I don't know what's wrong with everyone in the chat. Enough shit, lads.
So we're going to PSG and winning?
Of course, because my mate Jack is going there. Jack Coisday is going to the game. He's got a ticket.
Jack Coisday?
Jack Coisday, dickhead. Fucking hell. Jack Coisday. That means come on, you Spurs. Like Jack Coisday.
KPV, have you been enjoying the return of Ben Simeone?
Of course, man. Finally, after 4 years, I've been asking for this, and like, finally, you bring it back. And yeah, and as I've said, I'm not sure if you've seen, you should change your controls to classic. That's what the controls are. Classic. You press RT, change it to alternate. That's not how the game works, fellas.
Well, it is how the game works because it's an option that you're allowed to do if you really want.
No, you're losing. That's why, because mine and
we've won back-to-back games, mate.
Yeah, well, for some reason I can't add you. Like I thought I added you as a friend. You two, I played you. Like
we've been busy, Kyle.
Like my Xbox, like I typed your name in and it says cancel. I'm pretty sure I added you as a friend a couple of years ago, but
we're playing on a different secret account, mate.
I thought yours was Ragnarmonk. I thought that's your account.
Nah, we're not playing on that account anymore.
Oh well, still add me as a friend if you can. Like I'd appreciate it. Add me as a friend. Kulistevsky is the name, man. You've seen my account name. People, like they're still asking. They're still on. Did I buy the what stadium? I was given it. They need to know I was given it by EA. I didn't buy it. So they need to understand. I did not.
I don't believe you, mate.
I do. You should, Ben, because I didn't buy it. Like when I got FIFA 22, I didn't buy it. I
Yeah, you
packed
did.
it, and I didn't. It was Tottenham Hotspur Stadium, man. And everyone, I suggest you boycott the video Ben has seen watched in January because I suggest you boycott it.
Why?
You know the video I'm on about. You two reacted to that scumbag.
What are you talking about? I don't know what you're talking about.
A video you guys watched about the guy changing jumpers.
It's an advert.
Yeah.
Oh, that guy. Yeah, boycott it, mate.
Yeah,
boycott it.
Boycott.
And I'm just gonna say one thing. Like we should have won against Bodo because we're still unbeaten, and Monaco we can't seem to. But we did actually beat Monaco in the Europa League under Poch, and I believe that was at home. So we can't seem to beat them when we had Poch. I don't know what's going on, but Venom kept us in the game. Vicario, shout out, and kept us in the game. So, but yeah, Frank is the first Spurs manager to go 3 games unbeaten. Poch couldn't, Redknapp couldn't, Conte couldn't. The Danish man is. So Copenhagen we should be beating, and then Paris, revenge is coming because they got lucky beating us in a Super Cup, and the PSG manager admitted it, and Dembele's back, but it's time to beat PSG, lads. It's
all right
in a few weeks, and
let's do it, mate.
PSG, they scored 7. Not sure if you saw it. How have they scored 7, mate? In Germany, score 7. I don't know. They've never scored 7. Have they ever scored 7, blood? Well done. Well done. I'll give you that.
Well done, KPV.
Well done to them, and well done to you, KPV. Thank you for coming on today.
Yeah, and not a good game, boring game, as Natalie Pell said. Boring game. Shout out Natalie. And we've got Everton, and so not going to be good, but hopefully a win. But we don't seem to do well. But on to the next, and then who's after Everton? Copenhagen. Eh?
No, Newcastle.
Oh, Newcastle. They've got Joe Linton, but they haven't got Isaac, so they've got Joe Linton who seems to turn up. But yeah, Everton and then Newcastle. But I don't like neither of those two teams. Sorry, but it's a fact, everyone. But anyway, people, have a good evening.
Nice one, Carl. Good to see you, mate. And we'll see you soon.
La Bosch.
La Bosch.
KPV, man. All right, let's move on to our next caller. And he is the man, the myth, the legend. The face has been revealed. It is Mr. Himeothy. How you doing, my friend?
Hey, everyone. How are you guys?
Yeah, I mean, going through the emotions after that was a really hard watch, wasn't it? How are you?
Yeah, I'm good. That game annoyed me, man. Everything about it really, really annoyed me. It's just the whole team. It's not gelling together. It's not the Thomas Frank, which I thought I knew. It just feels like he's doing the same thing over and over again, and he's just not learning.
But is it not too early for those kind of judgments and statements? It is only 8 games into a season. We're sitting here October time. There's a lot of time. There's a lot of time to get it right, obviously. And obviously, at this stage of the season, first season under Pochettino, we were having similar questions.
Yeah, of course, it is too early for sure. I'm still fully Frank in, but it's just that it feels as if he still has a Brentford mind in terms of we're going into games playing to not lose rather to go and win. That's the way I'm looking at it, because every game it just feels like we're playing passive. For example, the pivot of Benzica Polina every time, I don't get it. I feel like everyone notices it, but it's apart from him.
Yeah.
So what does he see? What is he looking at in terms of his vision? He just wants stability. Is that it? Is he playing defensive? But that's my point. It feels like he's just playing not to lose, rather to go and win.
Yeah, it's quite muddled, isn't it? Because he keeps saying front players just need to gel, but the approach seems to be the same. Whether we're at home or away, doesn't matter the game at the moment in terms of how we're attacking through that midfield. So, for you, do you think, when we're seeing all our attacks go through the width, wide areas, is that a deliberate tactic, do you think?
I feel like I don't know if it's a tactic, but I think he looks at that attack and just realizes Kudus is the only thing there to really do much. Obviously, he has Xavi, but obviously coming in, it doesn't really look like he trusts Xavi fully yet. If you look at the game time with Xavi compared to Kudus, Xavi's been benched many times now, and he's been moved around from the 10 to the left wing. It seems like he's just focusing on using Kudus, which you can see every time we just tried boot it to him. With Van der Ven, even against Villa when he scored offside goal. With Porro, when Kudus scored his goal, we just booted to him consistently. So I don't even know if we're playing width or we're just going for Kudus. Because if you look at our team, he's literally the only threat. If for another team who's obviously coming against us, for example, even Everton next week, their fullback is going to be looking at us and thinking, oh, I have to play against Kudus. That's it. That's the only attack we have. Richarlison, I don't know what the hell is wrong with him. He's had 3 good games this year. Other than that, he's been horrific. He's been so bad. It's not even the goals. I don't even care about the goals. The performances is the problem. He's not even doing anything off the ball. He does nothing.
Agree. And you look at those 3 performances that you're talking about, were the first 3 games of the season, pretty much PSG, Burnley, and Man City, right? And the things that he was doing in that game, he was dropping deep, being a physical, problem, linking up the play. Like, all of that has completely vanished out of his game, and he's just sticking up there, being completely isolated and no interest to coming and getting himself involved in the game.
Yeah, no, it's literally, for me, against Everton, Colomboani has to start.
Yeah.
He has to, because even if we don't even look at Spurs, just overall career-wise, Colomboani is the better player. And with him playing more and more, and obviously the fitness and his sharpness going up, we saw him today. His link up straight away when he came on. He should have played there straight away.
Yeah, no, I agree. I think he did more in 20 minutes. I mean, Amir said it. He did more in 20 minutes than Richie did probably in the last 3 games he's played put together.
Yeah, 100%. And I also don't know with Brennan Johnson either. He's such an odd player. He's really an odd player. I can't put my head around him on what he's a good squad player to have. But he cannot play this much. Like I think like you said, Frank's losing trust in him. He's barely playing anymore. But that's the thing with Johnson. You don't see him the whole game, but he would just pop up with a goal. For example, at the end, he could have scored, and that's it. We would have won, and it's because of Brennan Johnson.
The thing is, though, bro, like, with the way we're set up now, and all of our creativity is coming from the flanks, that popping up with a goal, I don't think is just going to cut it anymore, because we need our creators to be on the flanks, and Brennan Johnson just doesn't do that.
No, I agree. I think Arian said it as well. I do think his long-term position is a striker, especially for this system. All his personal attributes is made for a striker. He can't do anything on the whip. He can't beat a man. Him being a striker, I think, is the only way he can suit in the system anymore. So I think he's got a decent touch, what Richarlison can't have. I just don't know. I don't know what to do with him anymore. I seriously don't know what to do with him.
And Romero being out, apparently. Have you heard anything about Romero? Or how long he's going to be out for?
I haven't heard too much about him, but I know Poseidon, he said that he's around 2 weeks, and he's someone who I trust, and he knows his stuff, so it will probably be around then. But like I've known with injuries, like you guys probably heard me before, it does not mean anything. That 2 weeks means nothing. Because every time, especially this time last year, with Romero, he had 2 setbacks. He had 2 expected returns, and then he got set back again, and then again. So it means literally nothing. No one knows. The medical team has always been useless since Conte times. Conte hated the medical department. It's the same. It's the same shit. It's the same thing. No one likes the medical department at Tottenham.
But we're so reliant on him. That's a big issue. If he is out for an extended period of time, I don't think we've won a game yet this season without him. And his passing ability, why are we so reliant on him?
That's the thing as well, especially when you have a double pivot of Paulinho and Benzema. That Romero's on-the-ball ability is so important because, like we've seen, we cannot play at all without him. Without Romero there and Danso there, he's not terrible, but he's not Romero. Romero plays his line-breaking passes, which goes through sometimes Benzema and Paulinho all the way to Odegaard or Xavi if he's in a 10. We saw this all the time with Maddison and stuff. So, especially when you're playing a double pivot with Paulinho and Benzema, we have nothing on the ball. That's why Romero was so important for us, and he is so important for us. So that's why if it comes to Everton, and Frank is still playing Ben Scribblina, their questions have to be asked. Because I
What's
don't
the
understand
answer
what
then,
he's doing.
Himeothy? What's the answer in the double pivot? Who are you going for?
I think it should be Polina and Gray or Bergvall. That's because I think Gray can very much link the play. He can do the box-to-box role very well. Even Sarr can. Bergvall was very poor today, but his best position would be in that 8. He's not a 10. I don't think he can play the 10. I don't think he
I
ever
agree.
has. He's only had one good performance in the 10, and that was against West Ham. Out of the rest of his career, I don't remember one good performance in the 10. I might be wrong, but do you remember one?
No, I agree with you. I think he needs to be an 8. That's his position.
100%.
I think he's better at 6 than he is at 10.
Yeah. No, he is. He that's the thing. He can play as a 10, but it's not his best position at all.
Agreed.
Do you
For
think
me,
there's...
just
Go on. Do you think is there a concern that Frank struggles to coach a team properly over a sustained period of time where they're going to be the dominant team? They're going to be the team on the front foot and not going to be the underdog team. Because at Brentford, pretty much his whole time at Brentford was, especially in the Premier League, was more managing a team that he knows pretty much 9 times out of 10 they're going to be a team on the back foot. They're going to be counter-attacking. They're going to be, soaking up pressure and rely on certain things. Now at Tottenham, it's a different kettle of fish, isn't it? So what gives you confidence that he can get a team like Tottenham dominating teams consistently?
I don't. I don't have it. For me, it's the thing is, if you think about our season, our 2 best games could arguably be against PSG and Man City. And why is that? Is that because that's what Frank was used to, being the underdog team? Is that why? It's just a thought. Because every other game, I feel like, even against Villa, we should be winning that game looking into that game. With how poor they've been and they've barely scored goals. Yeah, I know they've been better on form, but overall, every game we've played, we could have won or won. But against, obviously, PSG, Man City, those are the underdog teams. Obviously, we'll have this record against Man City where we always beat them anyway. But the PSG game, that was very, we saw that and thought, wow, this is why we sat down. This is why we've done this, to move on. And then since then, obviously, we had a couple, the Burnley was a good game. That's the thing which it doesn't make sense to me is why he started with Gray and in that Burnley game, and we haven't seen him since. But why is that? Why against the Wolves do we start Polina and Bentancur? Why did we do that? They were bottom of the league with not a single point. Why did we start them? That's what I don't understand.
Yeah, you got to say, games against Brighton and Leeds were also very good, and that's games where we were probably favourites to win.
Yeah,
True,
but Brighton are an attacking team, technical
Yeah.
side, so they're going to leave space for you. Leeds, yeah, we won. Fair play.
Leeds was a tough game for sure. But again, what was his tactic in that game? Because I remember the first goal of us just booing it to Kudus and then he scored. And then obviously Tell's goal was the deflection.
I think we got a little pressure in the middle. A little Bentancur won it and played it quickly to Tell, and he got and he scored.
The deflect goal.
Yeah.
I think one player I want to give props to today was Vicario though, because I feel like I have been very critical of him on X and everything about him, because I do think, I've always said this since last season, I do think he's our Ramsdale, which Arsenal had. I still think that he's upgradable. He's not the priority. He's definitely not a priority, but I still think if you look at all these keepers, especially the top ones, there's such a big difference between them. When Vicario has the ball, I am literally scared. He doesn't give me any confidence. And I'm not saying this means, I want Kinski, and I don't. I'm not even saying Kinski's the one to take over. I just mean I think we need to upgrade him in the future. But I have to give him his props today. He was very good today. I do.
If it wasn't for him, we're losing about 6 or 7-0 today.
Yeah, I know. 100% we're losing 5-0, 6-0 even. Apart from him, Polina and Van der Ven probably saved us. Even Dancer was alright as well. But yeah.
What do you reckon about the priorities, and do you think we'll get many players in January?
Well, our main really target was Semenyo. That's who we really wanted to go for in January. But the problem is that now since his performances, it only makes it harder. Because he's been unreal. And that's what's made it harder for us and Spurs to actually go for him. But we still want him. He's the main target, which is going to be tough. We obviously want Harry Kane as well for the summer. But again, I don't know how that's going to go. But if we make Champions League, there is definitely a possibility that he comes back. Obviously, he's loving life in Bayern Munich, but obviously he's not going to say, "Oh, no, I'm thinking about coming back to Tottenham." He's not going to say that.
I don't think he would watch the game tonight into the AL.
That's a good point. Right, maybe we won't go for him anymore. But
How is life unmasking yourself after being a anonymous one of these people? Might have thought of you as a obviously you give great info, so people know you now on X, but. Now you've unmasked yourself. You're out there. How's life changed?
It feels different. It definitely took a lot of pressure to do it. But especially, it's been tough. It was tough to really do it. I was also thinking about it. I always was, but I just didn't know when the right time was. But I feel like there's a good opportunity here to just do something, and I was like, you know what, screw it. We only live once, one life. Just do it. My only problem why I didn't was due to the identity with Spurs and the clashes were there. But obviously with Levy going and everything, it's a bit less now. I don't have as much because my contact mainly was with Levy. I still get stuff and everything, like I know about the Semenyo and Kane stuff, but with Levy going, who was forced out by the way, like I said, he was so annoyed about that. He was laughing because he was so just shocked about it happening. But overall though, becoming faces, it's a good thing, and I'm happy that I'm shocked by the support I got about it. To be honest, I am shocked about it. I did it, and I expected it to not really go well because I usually get hate, so I was expecting that. But obviously, I enjoyed myself, and then all I got was love. So I appreciate everyone, and I'm grateful for everyone, really.
So you're saying Levy had no idea that he was going to leave the club at all?
Not on that day, no, not a single. He went to that meeting. It was more for it was a quick meeting to discuss the transfer window, which is a usual meeting every summer. He got there, Peter Charrington and Enoch forced them out. They were there the whole day. There was meetings after that as well. After he was announced that he's gone, there were still meetings after that with potential takeovers or some interest from people. I don't know who, I don't know what. There were further meetings with Levy.
Wow. Mad.
But we were hearing rumours that he was going to get forced out when what's her name? When Cullen got forced out. So do you think was it put in place? You think like around then?
Yeah, I think when Peter Charrington came in is when this plan was set up by Enoch, because that's what it seemed to happen. Because after Peter Charrington, there was Vinay as well, and all that. It just seemed like it was all meant to happen. They wanted Levy out.
It's mad.
What do you think? And Levy-less Tottenham, do you believe everything that Enoch is saying? And you, Tottenham, we want to win more games more often. We're going to pull the lever down. All the money is going to come splurting out.
No. You never know, because obviously I know the daughter of Enoch, Vivian Lewis. I know she definitely does love Spurs. She's a very passionate supporter. So you never know how it goes with them. But I thought Levy was very concerned about. He thinks that the club won't run well. He thinks now after he's gone that the club will fall apart.
He would say that though, wouldn't he?
Of course, he would say that. He would say that because he's going to say that. But that's what his concern was, because he thinks they don't know how to run the club. So far, obviously, it looks decent. Therefore, I feel like there's more links between the club and the fans. I feel like that's what Vinay's put into place. I don't know.
Communication is very good now.
Yeah. That's what I mean. All the interviews and everything. I feel like there's longer interviews now, and it looks better. But you never know. This could all just be a facade, and they're the same. It's the same thing.
Yeah, it's funny that Levy thinks that the club won't run well, because we all thought the club won't run well when he was running the club. So very interesting. But look, Himeothy, hopefully we'll see a lot more of you over the course of the season. Thank you for coming on today, and everyone do go and follow his Twitter account, Himeothy.
Himeothy, why are people asking who he is? To be fair, they don't know what you look like. So.
Yeah, true.
It's him. It's the Himeothy. Come on, people. It's not a doggy. It's Himeothy.
People actually were questioning about that. I was like, what?
Big up to you, man. Thanks for coming on today.
Thank you, everyone.
That was Himeothy, everyone. And I think that is all we have time for today. That is all the guests done and dusted. We'll be back in the studio tomorrow to delve even deeper and actually give you actual player ratings for tomorrow. But thank you everyone for sticking
Not
around.
even got any goals to look over
Yeah,
anything.
I know. We'll still squeeze a half an hour match review out of it.
You bet.
But yeah, big up to everyone. We'll see you all tomorrow. Like, subscribe, and comment. And as always, come on, you Spurs.